What if a harmless habit, something you've done for decades, could silently put your life at risk after the age of 70? What if the first 5 minutes after waking up were the most dangerous moments of your day, and no one ever told you? And what if the very thing you thought was normal aging was actually a warning sign your body has been whispering all along? This morning, a 72-year-old woman passed away in her sleep. It came as a complete shock. No prior illness, no obvious symptoms, just a regular night like any other, until it wasn't. Her loved ones were devastated. And the heartbreaking truth? It was caused by a mistake so simple. Something she did without even realizing it. The reality is, as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to routines that once seemed harmless. Small choices that didn't matter much in your 40s or 50s can suddenly become high risk in your 70s. These seemingly innocent habits, especially in the morning, can quietly compromise your heart, brain, circulation, and even your balance. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 morning mistakes that people over 70 often make every single day, without realizing the danger. These habits may look innocent. You may have done them for years, but combined with an aging body, they can create a hidden storm. The good news? Once you're aware of them, they're easy to correct. And fixing them could be the difference between a strong, healthy start to your day or an unexpected trip to the hospital. So, stay with me until the end, because the final mistake is one that almost no one talks about. Yet it's among the most dangerous. It silently increases the risk of heart issues, dizziness, and falls. And most people never know, until it's too late. Before we begin, if you haven't already, click subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos that could protect your health or that of someone you love. If this topic already feels important to you, type 1 in the comments, and if not, type 0 so we can continue improving our content for your needs. Now let's begin. Mistake 1. Getting out of bed too quickly. One of the most overlooked yet dangerous things older adults do each morning is something that feels completely routine. Getting out of bed too fast. At first glance, it may seem harmless, but for people over 70, this simple action can lead to sudden drops in blood pressure, dizziness, and falls, some of which result in serious injury. As we get older, our circulatory system doesn't react as quickly to posture changes. After hours of lying flat, blood naturally pools in the lower parts of the body. If you suddenly sit up or stand, it can cause a sharp dip in blood pressure, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. And it's exactly why many seniors feel lightheaded or disoriented in the morning. Let me ask, have you ever stood up from bed and felt the room spin? Or had to pause to steady yourself before taking your first step? That's your body giving you a signal, and it's one you shouldn't ignore. Take Edward, age 74. Every morning, he'd swing his legs off the bed and stand up immediately. He did it for years, until one day, he blacked out for just a second and lost his balance. Luckily, he fell back onto the bed, but it could have been much worse. That was his wake-up call. Literally. So what's the fix? A simple, powerful 3-step morning routine. Start slow. Take a few deep breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes to get your blood moving. Roll gently onto your side and slowly push yourself up to a seated position with your feet on the ground. Pause. Before standing, rotate your ankles, stretch your arms, and allow your body time to adjust. This small change can drastically reduce your risk of dizziness and falls. And as you may already know, falls are one of the leading causes of serious injury in seniors, from broken hips to long-term mobility loss. So if you've been hopping out of bed without thinking, take a step back. Give yourself those extra 30 seconds. They may seem small, but they could save your independence, or even your life. Now let's talk about the second habit, one that's just as easy to fix, but even more frequently overlooked. Mistake 2. Skipping water in the morning. After learning why getting out of bed too quickly can be risky, let's talk about another habit that seems harmless, but can quietly undermine your health, especially after 70. Mistake number 2. Not drinking water right after waking up. Hydration might not sound like the most urgent priority first thing in the morning, but the truth is, after 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is already in a state of mild dehydration. And for older adults, that can have serious consequences. Even while you're resting, your body is still hard at work. Your heart keeps beating, your lungs keep breathing, and your organs quietly perform essential tasks, all of which result in fluid loss through sweat and respiration. By the time you wake up, your blood has become slightly thicker, circulation slows, and your internal systems are running at a subtle disadvantage. If you don't rehydrate soon after waking, this state of dehydration can lead to elevated blood pressure, sluggish circulation, and even increase your risk of stroke or heart attack, especially if you already have underlying health conditions. Let's pause for a moment. When you wake up in the morning, do you ever notice your mouth feeling dry? Do your joints feel unusually stiff, or does your energy seem lower than expected? Maybe it takes longer than usual to feel truly awake. These are not just signs of aging. They're signals that your body is thirsty, even if you don't realize it. Worse yet, if your first drink of the day is coffee instead of water, you could be compounding the problem. Caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it pulls even more fluid from your system, which only deepens dehydration. Let me introduce you to James, 76 years old. For decades, his routine was the same. Wake up, walk to the kitchen, pour himself a strong cup of coffee, and sit by the window. But as the years passed, he started waking up with mild headaches, occasional dizziness, and a feeling of brain fog that lingered into the late morning. At first, he chalked it up to aging. But during a routine checkup, his doctor suggested one small change: drink a full glass of water right after waking up. James gave it a try, and within a few weeks, he felt a noticeable difference. The brain fog lifted, the headaches became rare, his energy returned sooner each day. All it took was one glass of water to make a major shift. You see, water is essential to how every part of your body functions, from blood flow to kidney health to digestion. Starting your day with water helps rehydrate your organs, jumpstart your metabolism, and get your system running smoothly. If you struggle with morning digestion or constipation, hydrating first thing can also support regularity. It's one of the easiest ways to give your body a healthy head start. So, what can you do if you're not in the habit of drinking water in the morning? Start small. Place a glass or bottle by your bedside the night before. Drink it within 15 minutes of waking. If you prefer something warm, try a cup of warm water with a slice of lemon. It's soothing and hydrating, and remember, don't wait until you feel thirsty. By the time thirst kicks in, you're already mildly dehydrated. Think of water as your body's first fuel of the day, not an afterthought, but a necessity. Take this simple step seriously, and you'll begin to notice the change in how you feel, how clearly you think, and how much better your day starts. Now that you know why hydration is vital, let's move on to a third morning mistake. One that's hiding in plain sight, right inside your bedroom. Mistake number 3, drinking coffee before eating anything. For millions of people, the day simply doesn't begin until that first warm, comforting cup of coffee touches their lips. It's a ritual, automatic, and deeply ingrained. Wake up, brew a fresh pot, take that first sip. But if you're drinking coffee before putting any food in your stomach, especially after age 70, that habit may be doing more harm than good. When you wake up, your stomach is empty, your blood sugar levels are low, and your digestive system is just beginning to activate for the day. On top of that, your cortisol levels, your body's natural stress hormone, are at their highest in the early morning. Introducing caffeine into that delicate state without any food as a buffer can cause your cortisol to spike even higher. The result? Increased physical stress, digestive discomfort, and over time, issues like acid reflux, stomach irritation, or persistent bloating. Have you ever taken that first sip and felt lightheaded, jittery, or even a bit nauseous? That's your body sounding an alarm. Coffee is naturally acidic. When consumed on an empty stomach, it can irritate the stomach lining and increase acid production. A dangerous combination, especially for older adults who often already have more sensitive digestion. What starts as a small twinge in the gut can quickly become a daily discomfort. Take Robert, for example. At 75, he followed the same routine he'd had for years: black coffee first, breakfast later. But over time, he began noticing more frequent acid reflux and an uncomfortable burning sensation. He initially blamed it on spicy dinners or just getting older. But after consulting with his doctor, he discovered the real culprit was his coffee habit. The solution was simple but transformative. Robert started eating a small snack before his morning coffee. Something light like a banana or a handful of almonds. Within just a few weeks, the reflux calmed down, and he no longer felt that heavy, uncomfortable sensation in his stomach. The key takeaway here isn't to give up your morning coffee. It's to adjust the timing. Having even a small amount of food in your stomach before caffeine helps buffer the acidity, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce the cortisol spike. A slice of toast, a few whole grain crackers, or even half an apple can do wonders. You might also notice another benefit: fewer energy crashes. When caffeine hits an empty stomach, it gets absorbed rapidly, leading to a quick burst of energy, followed by an equally sharp drop. But when you eat first, it slows the absorption, giving you a more stable, long-lasting boost instead of a spike and crash roller coaster. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for that mug, pause and ask yourself, have I given my body a foundation to work with? A tiny shift in your routine could be the key to improving digestion, reducing stress, and starting your day on a much stronger note. Mistake 4 is ignoring morning stiffness and moving too quickly. For many older adults, waking up with tight joints or a bit of stiffness seems normal. A sign of aging that you just learned to live with. But brushing it off and jumping into movement too quickly can lead to much bigger problems, including injury, falls, or chronic pain. You see, during sleep, your muscles and joints remain still for hours. Blood flow slows down, and your body naturally produces less synovial fluid, the lubricant that keeps joints flexible. This effect becomes more pronounced after 70, when joint cartilage becomes thinner and muscles aren't as elastic as they once were. If you leap out of bed the moment you wake up, twisting or stepping before your body is fully ready, you could be setting yourself up for a dangerous fall. Think back to a recent morning. Did you feel tightness in your lower back, knees, or shoulders? Did it take a few steps before your body felt normal again? That's your body signaling you to slow down and warm up. Let me share a real-life example. Walter, 78, always thought of himself as active. He'd wake up, push aside the covers, and walk straight to the bathroom. No stretching, no warm-up. One morning, though, a single misstep led to a fall and a fractured hip. Months of recovery followed, months that could have been avoided if he'd just taken an extra 2 minutes to ease into movement. The solution is simple, and it could save your mobility. Before you even sit up in bed, take a minute to move gently. Wiggle your fingers and toes, rotate your ankles, stretch your arms. While lying down, do a few slow knee lifts or leg slides to loosen your hips and spine. When you're ready, roll to your side and sit up slowly. Once seated, roll your shoulders, stretch your neck gently, and breathe deeply before standing. These small movements help boost circulation, lubricate the joints, and signal your nervous system that it's time to transition from rest to action. And when you do stand, make sure to steady yourself, especially if the room is dimly lit or you're heading to the bathroom. Just a few extra moments in the morning can mean the difference between starting your day strong or starting it with a fall, a strain, or worse. So the next time you feel that familiar stiffness in the morning, don't ignore it. Treat it as a cue to honor your body, not rush it, because the key to staying active and independent in your later years often starts with how you move, right from the very first moment you wake up. If you're still watching and finding these lessons helpful, comment number 4 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content that informs, inspires, and empowers. Mistake 5. Skipping morning sunlight. The hidden threat to your mood and sleep. One of the most underestimated morning mistakes people over 70 often make is staying indoors without getting any natural sunlight in the early part of the day. You might not think much of it. After all, you're just relaxing, having your coffee, maybe watching the news. But missing out on morning light could quietly be sabotaging your energy, your mood, and even your sleep. Here's the science. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating circadian rhythms, the internal clock that controls when we feel awake or sleepy. Morning sunlight is one of the most powerful signals to your brain that it's time to wake up. Without it, your body can remain in a fog-like state for hours, making you feel groggy, sluggish, or even mildly depressed. Think about the last time you stayed indoors for most of the morning. Did you feel more tired during the day? Did you toss and turn that night, unable to fall asleep at a reasonable hour? That's not just coincidence. That's your body's rhythm being thrown off balance. Take Margaret, 79. After retiring, she found herself spending her mornings inside. She didn't feel like going for walks anymore, especially if the weather wasn't perfect. Over time, she noticed her mood becoming more negative, her sleep getting lighter, and her afternoons filled with yawns. Her doctor suggested just 15 minutes of morning sunlight each day, so she made a small change, sitting on her porch each morning with her tea. Within 2 weeks, her mood had lifted, and she was sleeping deeper at night. The solution is beautifully simple. Try stepping outside within the first hour of waking. Let the morning light hit your skin and, more importantly, your eyes, without sunglasses if safe to do so. Even on cloudy days, natural light is far more effective than any indoor bulb at signaling your body to wake up. If mobility is an issue, even sitting by a window where sunlight streams in can help. Or if you're in a darker climate, consider using a light therapy lamp designed for older adults, a gentle tool to simulate the benefits of morning light. This minor adjustment can reset your body clock, improve your sleep quality, boost serotonin levels, your natural mood stabilizer, and reduce feelings of fatigue or sadness. In a world where many solutions seem complicated, this one is refreshingly easy. Step into the light, literally. Your body and mind will thank you, not just today, but in the weeks and years ahead. How you start your morning matters more than most people realize. Especially after the age of 70, even small habits can have a powerful impact on your longevity, energy levels, and overall well-being. The key is awareness. Now that you're aware of these 5 common morning mistakes, you have the power to avoid them and take control of your mornings in a way that supports your health for years to come. So, what stood out to you the most? Was it skipping water, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, or ignoring morning stiffness? Or maybe it's something you've already been doing right all along? Whatever it is, take a moment to reflect and begin with just one small change to create safer, healthier, more energized mornings. At Wise Elders Legacy, we believe small changes lead to lasting results, especially during this important stage of life. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to put it into practice. Your thoughts matter to us, and reading them gives us the motivation and encouragement to keep creating content that truly helps. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps Wise Elders Legacy continue making meaningful, inspiring, and informative content. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.